Hello, beautiful people, Losing Drea here. Today I'm coming to you with a little bit of a different kind of video from the videos that I normally put out to you guys that are based upon my weight loss journey. This video is, well, it's for a guy named Persistent Tim. I was watching some videos, and I do subscribe to My 500 Pounds Story, I believe is his name, and I clicked on the little bell thingy up top of the YouTube page, and it suggested that I had a bunch of videos that were newly uploaded and needed to be watched, and I had a little bit of time on my hands, so I started watching them, and he mentioned Persistent Tim and linked to his video. So I then watched the only two videos that Persistent Tim had up as of last night anyways, and I subscribed to him and I listened to him, and the poor guy really made my heart break. I'm an empath, so I feel other people's pain. I feel their fear. I feel their hurt, their upset, and the desperation. I mean, anybody who watches this guy can hear the desperation. He's not asking for money. He's not asking for anything other than to maybe help get the word out, get his video out, make it viral, whatever. So somebody somewhere can help him who is in a medical field, who has the means and the facilities to facilitate an operation that he's in desperate need of. That where he's just currently at now, the doctors are not capable, or they feel they're not capable, and or they don't want to you know, be responsible for the risk factors that are involved. From what I'm understanding from watching his other video, I'm going to link the one where he basically, the one that I saw first from My 500 Pound Story, but he basically, he feels like he's misleading people with his weight. I mean, if you look at his face, that is misleading, but I don't think he's doing that on a deliberate basis. So, Tim, if you watch this video, I just want you to know you didn't mislead me in any kind of way. Your weight, even though it might be a factor in what you're going through medically, it was not a factor in my mind as to how little or how much more I feel for you as a human being who feels desperate and really has pain issues and wants the pain to go away. I myself suffer from some issues. I'm not going to go into them right now. This video is not about me, but I will say, and they're probably not even nearly as severe as the issues you're probably going through, because I just know. But he explains that he's probably about over or 800 pounds or more. He was given a room where he's at because it was too difficult to transport him back and forth to the hospital from his home, from where he finally broke down and got some help to go to. And I've seen several documentaries from the BBC and TLC and all these other places who, guys, if you're listening, BBC, TLC, maybe you are the ones that need to hear these kinds of videos. I'm not the only one putting a video out for Tim. Other people are starting to jump on the bandwagon and do it too. And it's not for views for me or my channel. It's not for people to subscribe to me. This is for Tim. Tim and only Tim. He has this massive growth that is, you know, it has him in a lot of pain, and he just wants it gone. He just wants the pain to go away. And the only way for the pain to go away is to operate on him. And apparently there are too many risks involved. That the doctors and the facility of where he's at, they don't want to take the risk, even though he said he would sign any paper they wanted. He didn't care. He was not going to hold them liable or responsible. You know, it's this or he wants to die. And you know, and I totally get it. And he didn't really say those words, but I can hear the desperation in his voice. And I've been in similar situations where the pain is just so unmanageable. It's just like, you know, if this is what I got to live with, I don't want to go on anymore, you know. And he really wants to live, and he's really grasping at straws here at this point, because I guess there's been some calls made to other facilities, to other doctors, and there's just no help for him right now in sight, and he feels completely helpless. And so, Tim, if you're watching this, I just want you to know there is light at the end of the tunnel. There has to be a way. There are people who perform miracles. There are people out there who are living, walking miracles, whose hands are guided by a power that's higher and more powerful than anyone can imagine, and they're able to do things that even they might have before doing those things thought were possible. So, I say just hold on. There has to be someone out there, I don't want to say big shot or big wig, but somebody who's not afraid to take on a situation and try to give you some sort of relief, if not complete and total healing from what you're going through. And yes, you're being overweight, if that is a problem with what you're going on, it is going to be part of your recovery process by all means. And perhaps, and this is just a perhaps, doctors might feel that the pain that you're going through might be necessary for you to finally do what you got to do to try and lose weight. Because I'm somebody who, I had to get seriously sick and tired to get serious. And, I just thought, oh, it's not going to get that bad. I mean, I had a mother who was over 400 pounds, and yet I was creeping on up into the threes and saying to myself, that's never going to happen to me. And I allowed it to happen to me because even though I knew that I had to do something, I didn't take the initiative and do that something. So, I'm not going to kick you when you're down, but trying to take a little bit of a stand from the point of view of the medical professionals. There are health risks involved when you are overweight, no matter, any kind of BMI. If you are in the 800s, then there most definitely is some issues going on there that I'm sure that they, probably the ones that you've been in contact with anyways, don't want to risk. It's their reputation on the line and their knowledge. Like if I'm, to give you a good example, if I'm in, well, let's say they're in the medical field and they know what they should and shouldn't do, and the possible risk factors, but then taking that risk and going the extra mile is almost like suicide for a doctor, especially some of these young residents who I would think would be more hasty or more apt to act towards your condition and try to help you, think like, hey, I can do this, even when others may have tried similar situations in the past and have failed. Nobody wants to fail you as a patient, and they definitely, there are people out there, good people who are in the medical profession, who I believe would want to help you if it was medically possible, if it was feasibly possible. I don't think it has to do with financially possible one bit, because I've seen a lot of people, especially in the YouTube weight loss community, who have had medical people, people in the medical profession reach out to them and just give them surgeries that for skin issues and things like that, and not charge them anything. Just, they pay for their anesthesia or certain things that just, isn't in that doctor's control because it's performed by another professional in the medical, world there that has to perform that particular thing, whether it be anesthesiologist, x-rays, labs, things like that, so a doctor, he himself can only comp to a patient his portion of what that operation might entail. So I'm just putting that out there. Please hang on. Use the tool that you've already found to use, which is maybe I'm thinking your phone or your camera, that you can do videos here on YouTube. Keep reaching out to people. Stay in touch with the community. If anything, it will definitely help maybe take your mind off a lot of the pain that you're feeling. I know you don't want to be on any kind of drugs that they might be giving you for the pain, the constipation and all that other stuff, but sometimes they're being in the hospital, they can help counteract those issues. But I know that a person of your size, from what I've seen in the past, it's not easy. And my father had metastatic adenocarcinoma, and in his last days I took care of him, and he had a lot of problems because of the drugs they gave him and the fact that he was no longer mobile and had no feeling from the waist down, and I had to clean him. And and I don't even say that I had to clean him. I took the liberty to clean him, but I know for me it was like something I would rather do for him than him be embarrassed or go through that feeling of shame or hurt or whatever it is that he might have felt at that time, having been put in that position um, because of cancer. So, like, look, you know, what I know about overeating and obesity is it is a disease. It's much like a cancer, but we have the more probable tools to use to cure ourselves of that cancer. You know, not all cancers can be cured, but many of them can. But obesity is one of those cancers, it spreads and it gets worse, and we get bigger, or we do something about it, and we do what we can do to get smaller. And there are so many people out there that are doing YouTube videos that I've just seen recently. I wish I could just throw out a couple of names, but they weren't able to move and they had masses on their legs and whatnot. And, you know, just sitting there and moving their arms and just taking out that aggression and that anger on that pain that you feel into the air, just in front of you with your fists and your arms, just get them moving. You can lose more weight than you think you might be able to. All help is not gone. All hope is not gone. So hang in there, buddy. And yeah, if you see this video, please go ahead, share it with anybody you want on social media. If you like it, tweet about it, put it on your Instagram, your Facebook, wherever you can. It's not about me. It's about Persistent Tim. I'm going to put a link down below to his channel and a link down below to that video that I saw. And if you do videos, by all means, go ahead, do a video and get it out there. It really, this is something that really needs to be heard, and this is what we do here in the YouTube community is, you know, we have a family we might not all know personally face to face. We do here through the convenience of video, but person to person, face to face, where we can feel each other and touch each other through anything other than our hearts is not possible. It is if we do a meet and greet, but I mean, you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. And you know, I feel, and I feel for people, and I feel for Persistent Tim. So with that said, guys, thanks for watching my video.